All right, so I'm listening to this podcast right now this morning because I had a bunch of shit that's been dropped in my lap and a bunch of shit that's going on. So this Mecklenburg grammar school teacher by the name of Spencer Gallant wants to keep on wants to fucking keep this shit going. So let me let you know something there, Miss Spencer Gallant. I could come after you just as well. The only difference is I am looking to get Angela's address, and I will get Angela's address. But that being said, I already have your address there, Viach. All right? Or at least a house which you said that your parents bought you. And you did send me something in the mail. Okay, so I do have your address. So I can legally go after you just as well. So let that be known. I listened to the podcast, and contrary to every fucking thing that was said, I'm going to say this. I played Mark Rebillett's voice on commercials that he's done, and I've played back the individual's voice that was supposedly playing Will Markland's voice. And playing back the two voices, Mark Rebillett, he does not sound like the same person that was interviewed on a video, sounding like this fucking punk that's on here. So for some reason, Will Markland wants to perhaps maybe curtail or not want any part of this, or doesn't want him to be brought back into this, or maybe just not tie him into this. See, the thing is, the conundrum is whether it was Will Markland who was being sued, or Will Markland was being sued, but the person that was on the phone conversation with the judge, whether that was Will Markland. So to say if that was Will Markland, then there would be a way to push the issue. But, and that's who we thought. But now, using clearly Will Markland's voice, that wasn't the same voice that was in the lawsuit with me in the voice interview with the judge, now as a revelation, claiming him to be Mark Rebillett. And I'm not stupid. I can figure out what's going on. That is not Mark Rebillett. Now, Mark Rebillett, I do believe, is involved in this, or is made aware of what's going on, or is a part of it from but I don't believe that person that's doing the podcast is Mark Rebillett. And but I do believe that Mark Rebillett is involved in some capacity, because I've already sent this bitch a letter, and now I sent a letter to his agent, and so now the agent they've removed their information in the Google listings, which is kind of interesting. Again, something very universal about these trolls, that they don't like to have the mask pulled off of them. And this Spencer character was a plant that was planted by the mongoose Mitchell. And supposedly he knew the father of Spencer. Spencer's father is a deputy sheriff. He's a deputy sheriff in North Carolina. And her stepdad is a dentist. We know that. And she's a school teacher. So, little truth serum here. Let's get it all out in the open so everybody can know something. So, Spencer, I know that you're being guarded and you're being behind, but I could very easily target you because I have your address. Let's not lose focus of that. Now, I just listened to the podcast, and I have to say, with all honesty, you have no conscience. You laugh hysterically upon everything that I said, every tongue-in-cheek joke that I did, every joke tongue-in-cheek. When I talked about my penis, it was anybody that knows me as a person that does twisted humor. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a person that likes twisted humor. And I respected you all along. But you and your brother, Doug, seem to be interested in me. You and your brother, Doug, seem to be alleged lurkers that have been listening to me ever since way back when. And I just find it amazing that now the revelation is that either Markland or Rebuild It came out, or should I say, a person that's pretending to be Markland and Rebuild It. See? That's coming out with that voice. So to say that this is not Will Markland, well, buddy, you perjured yourself. Now, it's a case that's done in over 3 years ago, but you perjured yourself to a federal judge. So I wonder how they would feel about that if they knew that that's what you did. Because if you weren't Will Markland, who the fuck are you? You're not Rebuild It, because Rebuild It, the voice does not coincide with the same person. But one thing that Markland and Rebuild It have in common, that they're social Hollywood butterflies. So maybe if that's why you want to protect your identity, because you don't want the Hollywood community to know that you're, in your spare time, that you're trolling and harassing somebody. But maybe we can push that issue a little stronger and get them to understand what's really going on. Let's go back to Spencer for a second. So Spencer is on this podcast, and she's saying shit like I'm repulsive of how I look, and about my... I told a story to you. It was an isolated incident that happened where I got sick off of food. I was taking some pills, taking some pills for my arthritis, and for the water pills to lose the pain on my legs. And I was taking these pills. I don't know if those pills necessarily had anything to do with it, but the fact that I believe at the time that I probably had food poisoning as well. So I got sick, and I literally, everybody, every now and then in their life has had some kind of sickness or got sick, or maybe it might have, dare I say, has had diarrhea. So if I temporarily at the time had diarrhea, okay? So I felt comfortable enough to say this without even knowing that I was being recorded. And then, so what these trolls do, they take something, and they take an isolated incident, and they make it to be more than what it is. They make it to be more than what it is to say, oh, he crapped on the seats, and he crapped everywhere, and he has a health violation. No. You are stupid. And that's all you got. You got that, and they're alleging me using the N-word. I don't give a damn what you all try to do. If you all go on a campaign kick to call me a racist and say that I use the N-word, you're going to fail miserably. You're going to fail miserably. And the reason why you are, because there are people that know me that know that I'm not that. I've already talked to Kevin, and I've already talked to Vince. Okay? So good luck with that. Good luck when trying to create separation from my contacts. See, this is what you all do. You hide yourself and you hide your identity, and once the identity is pulled, you don't like that. And you'll deny it and deny it and deny it. And now, finally, Phyllis, a.k.a. Spencer, Spencer, is just saying the same thing, that she wasn't who she claimed to be. Well, we knew that there, bitch. You fucking cunt. And now, they want to paint me as a loon, as a crazy person to the police, make me picture me as a crazy person to the police, saying that I said this and I said that. I said things in a private phone conversation. Private phone conversation, that's exactly what it was. So to depict and decipher me using the N-word, you're going to fail miserably. Saying that I used the N-word, it was out of anger, and it was purely out of anger. I am not a racist. I have a lot, and I don't need to go down this rabbit hole. Your depiction of me and depiction of my character fails miserably. And foremost, saying that I've said this and I've said that. Spencer, I wish there's one thing that I would have done was recorded you. Because if anybody's a racist, oh my fucking God, Spencer, you are a closet racist. I wish I recorded the conversations that you and I had, because I would have, and I wonder if that conversation was recorded. Probably not recorded, because you obviously wouldn't want to depict that or didn't want to say that. But let me remember this correctly. Oh, every time I drive down in Charlotte, all these homeless people, all these black homeless people are out and about, and, they have nothing else better to do with their time, and they ask me for money and come in and depict me for money. I just have to drive off and say, leave me alone. Okay? I don't know exactly to the term and the way it was said, but Spencer, you made a lot of derogatory comments about homeless black people and how how they feel entitled, and you're not open to that. So don't come calling me a racist. I find it very fascinating that you want to call me a racist when you're one yourself. And I'm not, for the record, a racist, but good luck with trying to prove that still. Trying to isolate me from people, trying to ruin my reputation, and taking me away from trying to depart me from my contacts and my friends. Yeah, well, that's not going to work, because at the end of the day, Stoker got a cease and desist letter, and a bunch of you all are probably going to get a cease and desist letter. And there's one that's going to be coming in the mail to Rebillet, even though I don't believe that is Rebillet. But Rebillet is going to get one whether he wants one or not, because obviously he's letting this person use his identity to pretend it's him. But whether it's not him or not him, you're going to get a cease and desist letter. And Markland, you're going to get a cease and desist letter. Now, you're going to sit there and laugh, oh, ha, ha, ha. We're going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to frame it, and we're going to do that. Well, you can do whatever you want with it. And Stoker, you can frame it and do whatever you want with it, because that within itself is confirmation that you have been told to cease any more libelous or defamation things about me, to cease any more conversation about me. So that's where we're at with this right now, and that's how we're playing that out. So you others are going to be getting it as well. And I just find it fascinating how this woman can sit here with a bold face and contradict everything she said. Well, maybe it's an act. Well, it was an act. But seriously, if she was being recorded, and if her comments were being put in the limelight and being recorded, how she would feel about her privacy being invaded. And that's why the bang that she the drum that she banged, saying that she didn't want, that she has a high prestigious job and she was going to get fired if it got leaked out. Well, obviously you proved that to be a lie by bringing your voice on a podcast. Now, I find it also funny how they haven't addressed you as Spencer, or you didn't address yourself as Spencer, but how you finally admitted that the Phyllis alias was an alias. The Phyllis alias was an alias. So I find all that to be fascinating, very fascinating. But you know what I also find to be very fascinating? How you can sit there and lie and twist things up, saying that this, and this, and this, when at the end of the day, you were the one that contradicted everything you're saying and projecting this this image of you being a troll. Okay, but you went ahead and said things, contrary. You can call it an act, and maybe it was an act, but you were very on point, saying things that, against these people. And you were very on point in, discussing about your disposition, about what you felt about these people, who you were, and who, and maybe that was an act, which it was an act, but even if it is an act, it is an act. But I find it just very pathetic how someone would spend every fucking day to call me, if I'm so repulsive to call me every fucking day to want to know what's going on with me and laugh at my jokes, find everything that I do, about 90% of what I do to be funny, only guess on the pre-recorded or on the recorded ones where you would find it to be repulsive. There are a few times you thought that some of what I was doing, or a few of the recordings you thought weren't funny. I guess they were the recorded ones that to fit the narrative of what the bang they're drumming, or the drum that they're banging. So it just amazes me about that. And when I called you a prude, then do the imitation of Elvis. Do the imitation about the grandma on your toenails. The grandma on your toenails. You found that to be hilarious. You found my voice impressions to be hilarious. But you pick and choose. I find all of that very, very fascinating. Very, very fascinating on how that all got depicted. But anyway, yeah. So, coming up to their narrative, agreeing to the narrative that's being spewed. Michael Saunders and Angela Sanders 2.0, there you are. And I'm sure you and Angela now have compared recipes. Look, at the end of the day, it's not going to stop. Okay, I mean, granted, my reputation has been slandered, and there will be repercussions for that. Don't just think that I'm sending out love letters. There's going to be repercussions and consequences, because there will be a lawsuit. There will be a lawsuit. And Spencer, you've just put yourself in mention of one. You just put your name in the hat to be drawn for one, and perhaps a main target now of being sued for what you did. All right? And just know that the more you do, the more you're going to be, the more it's going to come right back at you. Remember, again, I have your address. With Angela, I'm still looking for her address, and I'll get Angela's address. But I have your address. And as far as this nimwit, you said that you told the Xanax boy that I'm fearful of him. Look, I don't give a damn if you're King Kong or Godzilla. Okay? I'm going to defend myself. So this guy knows grappling and MMA fighting and whatnot. He's a MMA fighter that trains all the day. I don't know this man. This man doesn't know me. But I don't give a damn if you're King Kong. Okay? If you get in my face, I will fight you, and I will fight you, and I'm not intimidated by another man. Never have been, never will be. So I think that you need to worry about being raped by the babysitter, and stop being focused upon me. That's going out to Xanax boy. Other than that, there's nothing else to say. You all are the reins of this Holmgren, because if anybody is fucking psychotic, Holmgren is the one that's psychotic. He wants to go ahead and put me in a cage and drug me up. This is coming out of Holmgren's mouth, that he wants to go ahead and have me as a zoo animal. Okay, he wants to go ahead and drug me and use me as a zoo animal in a cage. Okay, Holmgren, this is the man that's pulling the strings to this repetitive crap about being made about me. So all I'm going to say to you is that, buddy, you might be in a different country, but you are touchable just as well. And this is it. And here we go again. Another fucking podcast, another player. And this woman was a plant from the very beginning. So, Spencer, you really want to be on the opposite end of a lawsuit, don't you? Spencer, you really want to be on the opposite end of a problem. It's not fucking poking and trolling and thinking, this guy's got a medical issue, this guy had an incident where he crapped on himself, No. Your garbage, your shit, all of this shit is going to cease. Not just with a cease and desist letter, but it's going to be forcibly to cease. It's going to cease, and it's going to cease altogether, because again, there is going to be a line drawn in the sand, and I'm going to put an end to this shit. So I see that everybody's all happy and chummy and all that. Just know that I'm going to do something about this, and Mongoose, you might be the easiest target that can be reached. So I would think to you that you best run along. I know that you're the laptop dog, but Mongoose, you better back the fuck off, because you will be the visible target. You're the closest target around, and you will be a target. I just find all of this just ridiculous. But I want to say, Spencer, keep on, because you will be focused as a target as well. You will be focused as a target as well. Trust me when I say that.